Hi, this is Tim from UK Home Gym, your home for UK specific independent home gym tips and advice. And today I'm going to talk to you about my top five most versatile pieces of home gym equipment. This is not what I think are the best pieces of home gym equipment, but I think these are the most versatile pieces of equipment that you can buy. So perhaps if you're sort of buying thinking about setting up a home gym and you're thinking of, making the most out of the space that you have, making the most out of the equipment that you have, doing this on a budget and not overspending on it, maybe this will be of help. Anyway, number one, the first thing that I think that you should really look at is a set of dumbbells. Now, I think that when you think of, particularly if you go to commercial gyms, if you think of dumbbells, you're thinking of like a giant rack of dumbbells, going up from very lightweight to very heavyweight. Um, I don't think that's practical for most home gym owners. I don't think that's practical for most people here in the UK. If you have a massive house and you have loads of money, you know, by all means, that's it's going to be very, very versatile to have that kind of equipment for you. But if not, what I advise is loadable dumbbell handles that you can put weight plates onto, and then you can use those. In other videos, I've talked about adjustable dumbbells. I'm not a massive fan of those, though some people really are. Um, Anyway, whatever you choose in terms of dumbbells, you can do all sorts of brilliant exercises with those. I mean, the list goes on and on, basically. I won't go into too much detail with that, but you can do upper body exercises, you can do lower body exercises, and you can scale them and you can progressively overload them and so on. There are some exercises where I think that you will sort of hit a brick wall with dumbbells, particularly um, the sort of anything sort of pushing overhead. Gets very difficult to begin the setup with dumbbells. Much easier if you have something rackable like a barbell. Um, Also, something like deadlifting that can be really difficult to sort of set up with dumbbells. Though Romanian deadlift very good with dumbbells. Everything else really is good. I mean, I would even go as far to say that if you can get the bench press set up, the dumbbell bench press is in a way sort of better than the sort of barbell bench press because you've got more of a range of motion. You can go deeper and get a deeper stretch. Really, really like that exercise. You can also do dumbbell flies, which are a great exercise. But anyway, dumbbells, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And then they're quite low cost as well. And you can just use them for all sorts of things. Really easy to store as well. Um, you know, I love my barbell. I love using barbells, and that's fantastic. But the amount of exercise you can do with them is definitely limited. Whereas with dumbbells, it's almost like the sky's the limit. Next item here is the DIY cable setup. I really love this. I have my own DIY cable setup, and I've spoken about it a little bit in previous videos, and I'm going to speak about it a little bit more in more videos in the future. But I think this is really great. I mean, in most cases, it sort of starts out as a sort of tricep push down type setup, and you can then sort of build on it from there. In my case, I like to have different anchor points so that I can pull from different areas. I can pull, towards me. I can pull from beneath me. I can pull from above. I think that those are really good things to do. Now, once you've got that all set up, basically, you can use it for far more than just, lat pull downs and tricep push downs. You can also use it if you can pull upwards. You can use it for cable curls. That's fantastic. You can, if you've got a more sophisticated setup, you could probably do cable crossovers. I don't like it because I don't like having weight sort of swinging around behind me, but still, it's definitely doable. But you can also do a variety of leg exercises with a DIY cable setup. If you get it, if you got it set up right, you could probably use it for, some sort of leg extensions, hamstring curls. You can get quite inventive with it. And I think that, it adds something slightly different. If you've already got something like dumbbells, having the resistance curve and the resistance pattern of a cable is something that you'll miss if you're switching from commercial gyms to, um, to a home gym and where you're used to having lots of machines and stuff like that. I think, it can really sort of scratch the itch of of machines. You do need to be careful about how you set it up so that you don't cause yourself any safety issues. But as long as you do, um, you know, do that, I think that you'll find it extremely versatile. Next, this is extremely versatile, and that is a sandbag. Now, sandbags are fantastic. I think the best thing, I'm probably going to do a video about how to make your own sandbag and how to adjust it and so on. Um, but sandbag activities, exercises and stuff like that, are really good. Particularly if you're looking at sort of incorporating a little bit of cardio in your strength work. Um, there's a lot of exercises you can do with these, and the best thing about a sandbag is you can fill it up to the exact weight that you like, and then you can sort of adjust that and sort of progressively overload using your sandbag there. Um, I'll go into this, as I said, in a different video in more detail, but I really recommend using gravel in a sandbag rather than actual sand, despite its name, and making your own one basically instead of sort of buying one pre-made for you. It's definitely worth your while. And as I said, you can use it for all sorts of things. You can use it for, a sort of like a deadlift type thing. You can use it for overhead pressing. You can use it for like more awkward sort of carries and stuff like that. Brilliant muscle builder, brilliant cardio tool. I love it. The next item is resistance bands. I really love resistance bands. They were like my first real sort of home gym purchase. And I sort of originally hoped to just do all of my exercise using resistance bands. I was really sort of in some sort of cult or of resistance bands, and I thought they were really fantastic. I since use them a lot less than I used to, and I much prefer free weights. But the good thing about resistance bands is you can just use them to do all sorts of stuff. And the the resistance curve is completely different from free weights. So it's a nice break. If you already had something like dumbbells, the thing to sort of pair it with is definitely resistance bands. So, for instance, you could do maybe if you were focusing on on your biceps, for instance, you might do something like like a normal dumbbell curl, on Monday or something like that, and then if you wanted to you work your biceps again on Wednesday, for instance, if you could find an anchor point, you could do like a sort of a curl that sort of goes behind the body, starts off behind the body with the resistance band, uses an anchor point there, as I said, and you're getting that longer sort of stretch there using the resistance band. I think it's fantastic. They're really good for rehab as well. If you've got any sort of tendon problems that sometimes happen, they're really good for people who travel. You can even do lower body exercises with them. Not, I don't think they're quite as good on lower body as they are on upper body, but they're really good. You can use them for ab work. Um, you can use them to help you learn to do pull-ups. You can use them to make, you can use them in combination with things like dumbbells and stuff like that, and maybe barbells as well, to make a certain exercise more difficult. to scale it up a bit and also to give it a different resistance curve. Really, really good. And they're so cheap, and they are so ubiquitous and easy to find. I don't think that um, you'll ever regret buying a set of resistance bands, basically. And the last item that I think that really wins in terms of versatility is the adjustable bench. I really, really think that every home gym should have an adjustable bench if possible. Um, which one to buy is a big question. You can go super low budget, and you may at some stage think, I need to get a better one. That's certainly what happened to me. I bought a low budget one from Amazon, which I've got a review on, and it serves me very well. I use it all of the time still. It just isn't quite as sturdy and high enough to do stuff like you know, like I want to do like compound lifts with it with stuff like bench press and stuff like that. It doesn't work very well for that. But with lighter sort of dumbbell work, it's fantastic. And the thing I really like about it is that I can just take it out and put it in the garden on a nice sunny day. Brilliant. Do all your exercise outside with dumbbells. Adjustable really works because you can just do so many things with it. You can do stuff where you need to be completely flat, and you can do stuff where you need to be sitting more upright. You can do stuff in between. It's great for things like the incline curls. It's great for things like skull crushers. Um, there's a long list of things that you can do with an adjustable bench, basically. But I do think there's something that you shouldn't really skip. At some stage, you will need the additional stability of having that. So if you've got dumbbells, that's great, but sort of take it up a notch with an adjustable bench. A really good thing about the adjustable bench is if you get a sort of a cheaper one, more budget one, is that they can be really foldable, almost collapsible, and you can just sort of stick them underneath a piece of furniture, like I don't know, a wardrobe or something like that. They might fit underneath there, underneath a bed or something like that. It's a really great space saving tool if you get a cheaper, more lightweight one. Though, as I said, if you want to do something a bit more sort of taxing in terms of compound lifts, you may want to look at getting a more sturdy one. Anyway, those are my top 5 picks. You might be screaming, thinking, "Well, why didn't you talk about barbells? You can do all sorts of stuff with barbells." Maybe. Maybe we can have the discussion in the comments below. But if I had to narrow it down to 5, I think those are my 5 picks. I wonder what your 5 picks would be. Please let me know in the comments below, as I said. Please also like, share, and subscribe. That really helps me to grow the channel. Please do check out our website. That's ukhomegym.com. And I'll see you next time on UK Home Gym.